So Michelle, you watched this morning, fresh in your brain.
I did. Family
How are you
Stone,
feeling?
2005, 20 years, turning 20 years old this
Yes.
year. And hot off the press, we were texting each other last night. It was just released that they're going to be having a sequel to this. So
Yeah.
all of this feels very serendipitous, very timely that we ended up with this on the schedule. But I don't know the answer to this. Have you seen this movie before?
I think I
Okay.
watched it for the first time maybe in the last 2 years. So this was not a repeat holiday movie for me. So I'm new to the Family Stone group of people who
Family.
love this movie. There's also I did discover a lot of people hate this movie. I think it's a
Oh,
very polarizing film, apparently. I actually don't know the answer for you either. Was this your how many times have you seen this?
this was only my second time,
Okay. I
and
think this was probably my second time as well.
I watched it for the first time a year ago. So last year was the holiday season that we only did re-releases. We didn't do any. We kind of like our schedules didn't work in a way that we could put out new ones. But when I watched it, I was thinking, oh, this would have been a good one to do. I was wondering why I've never watched this. I don't think I was avoiding it, but I don't know anyone in my life who has seen this or suggested that I watch it. So I guess that's the reason why. And I think my other initial reaction was I wasn't expecting the Sybil, Diane Keaton's character, storyline about her having a terminal illness, and
Mhm.
that's really like the heart of what I think the movie is about.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like surprising. But, knowing me, I wonder if you had told me, oh, this is a really sad movie, if I would have avoided it, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think I knew much about this movie either. I will say I think that this movie has very it kind of draws lines between different tones. Like I do think it has even splits of like comedic references and very serious tones like a comedy drama. But this isn't, how I weep at like all movies. I actually wasn't like so sad watching
Hmm.
this one, which is surprising because of I love Diane Keaton and I love everything that she's in. And it was like so sad to hear that she had passed away. So I felt like it was going to hit me like a ton of bricks, but maybe the overpowering of the holiday spirit made me not as emotional this time around. I'll say before we even get to the section, this definitely isn't making my list of like favorite holiday movies. I think it's good. There's things that I like about it, but it probably won't be a repeat one for me as The Holiday is, as Home Alone is, as some of the other ones that we've covered or will cover on the podcast. But there's a lot of actors that I love and really admire in this movie. But I think it's one that doesn't give me necessarily the most warm and fuzzy feeling. Maybe it puts me in the
Oh,
holiday spirit.
wow.
It's not one that I'm like, I gotta sit down and watch The Family Stone tonight. So
I don't disagree with you in that I don't think this is going on my Mount Rushmore of Christmas movies,
mhm.
but I do feel like this is a very warm and cozy movie.
I guess the things that I don't like about it outweigh feeling like I just want to sit in my pajamas and, drink a cup of coffee with the family. So this time around, because you just watched it last year, do you feel like there was anything that your perspective has changed at all watching this time around? Did you like it more?
Yeah, well, the first time I watched it, I I hated that there were things in Sarah Jessica Parker's character Meredith that I thought, oh no, like this. I hope that I hope that no one thinks that I'm like this because
No.
I'm not. I'm not definitely. I mean, I think that you can attest to this. I'm not like her, but there are a couple little things that I saw myself in her character and her position, and it was kind of fun to put myself in her shoes and then imagining my in-laws, like Jimmy's family, kind of seeing me come into their family and what that looked like for them. This time around, it was helpful that I knew all the other characters a little bit more, and I was able to say, "Oh no, I'm actually like this character and this character like way more than I am her."
Yeah.
I enjoy doing that in movies, kind of putting yourself in the shoes of the characters and then imagining like how something similar is unfolding in your life. So, did you did you do that at all, or did you have
Yeah,
that thought?
I was equally as hard on Meredith and Sarah Jessica Parker's just character as I was the last time I watched it, and it she made me so uncomfortable and angry. I think because I really don't see myself like her, but maybe there are things that are triggering that I am actually like her and I don't want to believe it. But it at times it made it very difficult to watch. After I watched it, I was trying to survey other people's perspectives of her. And I also read this really great art interview that she did with Vulture, where they ask a lot about her character and how Sarah like feels about Meredith as a person and if she hates her and how she felt when she was brought this role. I still feel like I have a pretty strong opinion of that character, but I also have a strong like I have a different perspective of everyone else. Like I don't think that anyone in this movie is an angel. So I think
Mm-hmm.
everyone's kind of like
Yeah.
in it together and is just trying to go about the holidays in the best manner that they can based on their experiences growing up or who they are and trying to meld with other people.
Curious how you're going to be as a mother-in-law in the future because
Oh
yeah,
boy.
as well as you
Oh, I didn't
were
even think about it in this way. Oh my gosh.
well, as you were kind of explaining how you did not relate to her at all and really hated her, I think I want to clarify. I think it was more about realizing that no matter if I mean you could be the best person in the world, but no matter what, when you marry into a family, you are different than they are. They all have their thing. They've been living together. They've known each other for like, for most of their lifetimes. And you're like you're a disruptor in the dynamic. I did not remember that before they start running the title cards, they have this scene where they're showing Meredith and Everett in a like shopping mall, kind of like department store. And we're really getting a sense of the negative sides of who she is. And I thought, wow, this is such a strange place to start this movie. But I think this is in storytelling. It's okay, there's status quo and like what's changing the status quo. And it's really like the impetus for this whole story. It's like she is coming in and now everything is going to be different. Even though, I mean, we learn later on that there's also the illness and that is going to be different. So they, you know, kind of try to weave those two stories together. We'll talk about how successful that may or may not have been. I feel like this is a very long preamble. We should get
Yeah.
into officially what we loved.
I think as I'm starting to get into into the holiday spirit, I am always longing for like a snowy winter. And holiday movies I think just ruin it for us. For people living in New York and New Jersey, we don't get much snow anymore, especially not on Christmas. And I just love the setting of this movie. Whether or not, I don't think that the actual shots inside the house were films of the outside, the exterior that they showed. But if I could just park myself in front of that house with like a little beanie on and a big coat and a cup of coffee and just sit outside, even in the snow, I would be so content. So I feel like they set the scene nail right on the head of what it means to like have a proper cozy Christmas. And then beyond that, I'm very big, like, I love introduction of characters and how it plays into their costumes. This is obviously an outsider coming into a home where all of these siblings grew up. They all have their own idiosyncrasies, they all have their own bedrooms. And I think they did a fantastic job of bringing the characters to life simply based on what they were wearing and what their bedrooms look like. We see Everett's room as this very polished, oldest child, awards tucked in the drawer. We have Amy's room, which is just right inside her brain, the way that she comes out of the car in her NPR bag and a t shirt and her laundry basket. And you have Ben, who's like just has a complete pothead room, even though he lives in San Francisco. So, all to say, I really appreciated just how they made that come together without even needing dialogue or anything. We kind of knew who these people were.
They did such a good job of introducing this really big cast of characters, and at no point was I confused. I felt like they did it in such a, I don't know if it was like a rhythm or like a very intentional way of like meeting the siblings one by one, that I knew who everyone was. You knew the dynamic. I don't know if at any point in the movie they actually discuss the age order, but like you can kind of figure it out. I love big family stories. As I've gotten older, I've become more and more appreciative of big family stories that are about adult siblings and adult relationships with their parents. And I think it's such a, even though we have other iconic stories, books, and movies and TV shows that would fall in that category, I still think that it's a underrepresented trope or category. If I said, oh, a big family of kids, I would picture children, or maybe like,
Mm-hmm.
like multi-age, maybe going into like teens or like young adults. And that's really only a section of most people's of lifetime. Like there's this whole other bigger part of life where grown up siblings have to deal with each other and they have to deal with parents, and there are so many stories, and we're in that right now. So
Yeah.
almost all people can relate to this idea, even if they're not all staying in the same house, but reuniting with your family during the holidays. And there is like so much organic drama that happens. So yeah, I feel like it's a good story to tell.
Yeah, it really is. And I think Diane Keaton and Sybil being like really the anchor of the movie. And there are some parts where I know it's not from her perspective, but like we see her almost just trying to like hold on to all of these memories and like the sounds in the house and like having everyone together again. It's always interesting when you have people coming home for the holidays, or even when I am currently living with our parents right now. And I think
Yeah.
there
Oh, I
is
didn't even think about that.
perfect, another
Spot
timely
on.
thing. So I also think there's this element of when we come home again, we start to kind of unravel into like who we were growing up, especially when you're around people that you've known since birth, your siblings. I thought that the tone was very well laid out.
Oh yeah, for sure. One of the things I think tonally about the family is that even though there are obvious different personality types between the siblings and the parents, they really did feel like a family in the way that they communicated and acted around each other.
Mhm.
And this is kind of where I felt like the big contrast between Meredith and the family is like they're dancing to like this other song, and like she's trying to figure out how to how to navigate this. And I liked that a lot. And I love, Laura, that you keep using the word tone, because that's something that I think makes this movie unique, is that it kind of has its own very eclectic combination of different things going on. And I think where we see it the most is in Sybil. Almost every line that Diane Keaton delivers and almost all of her actions are doing so many different things at once. It's like, you said this at the beginning. It's comedy and it's heartfelt and it's like you're like on the verge of like laughing and like seriously like crying and living your normal life. It's like every emotion at the same time. Later, when we share our favorite lines, I feel like she has this one line, I think, that does all of the things. I'm like, okay, this is like the whole movie in this one little section. But I think that she does that as a character, but I think that the movie itself is also doing that. Our emotions are like, I almost like didn't, even though I'm coming into this and seeing this for a second time, I like didn't know how to act and I didn't know how to feel because we're going back and forth between like so many different
Yeah.
states. Did you feel that?
Oh yeah. I know. You don't really feel like a consistent mood the whole time. I mean, it's always a great approach of storytelling of bringing the outsider in and they're completely like a fish out of water. But they really make Meredith very like so unlikable that I feel like you you just don't I would feel so uncomfortable. I think if I was on either end, if I was Sybil or I was Meredith in that situation. Especially it's like the oldest tale ever told. I mean, I'm just gonna come out and say it. Michelle is the favorite child. Usually is
What?
the eldest. Because you're just so pure and like accomplished. It's like all the things. And like Everett, they don't say it, but I do feel like he seems like the eldest sibling and he's kind of like the golden boy that everyone loves and is protective over, but like also doesn't want to like upset him. I liked that tension building that Sybil was and all of them, even like when he's going to buy the engagement ring with Thad, like all of them
Mm.
are in his ear of do not marry this woman. We know that you do not love this woman. And I think that's the intense knowing of your family because they sometimes can see things that you cannot see yourself. You know, this is not a mother who's going to fake how she's feeling. She's not
Hmm.
giving you this ring.
I love that we get to have these discussions here. And for the any new listeners or viewers, I'm the oldest, as Laura just said, in our family, and Laura's the youngest. We have a 10-year age gap between us and two other sisters between us. But it's, first of all, I don't think that mom and dad have a favorite kid, and I don't think if they do that it's me. But it's it's so interesting to hear the different perspectives of like you looking at me as the oldest kid and seeing that. I get what you're getting at, especially thinking about Everett. I think that everyone was being extra, almost like protective of him because they have him up on this pedestal. If he is indeed like the oldest, and they're looking to him and they're like, this is the one who like has to get everything right, and this isn't right. So it's, yes, they're
Yes.
caring for him, but I think that there's also this like them
Expectation.
almost like not feeling safe that like he would make a choice like this and
Yeah.
disrupt the family in this way with this horrible person.
Yeah. And it's funny because Susanna is more, I think, of a filler character. I think they
Mm-hmm.
wanted to have the niece and like the growing family and seeing how everyone's kind of in their these different stages of their lives. Like Patrick and Thad are in the process of adopting. But Susanna could have been the eldest child, but
Mm-hmm.
for some reason, and given that Everett is more of the centerpiece of the movie because his girlfriend is Meredith, but yeah, just the way that they treated him made me feel like Susanna could have been maybe the second.
Yeah, I kind of
Yeah,
got the sense that she was either the second or the third, but
yeah,
obviously the oldest of the two girls. And in the when we first started recording, I was talking about that I did end up ultimately relating to other characters other than Meredith. And Susanna
Yeah.
was kind of, even though I don't have kids,
Mhm.
and my husband would show up for all of the Christmas festivities. He would not show up at the last minute. We'll get into that later.
Mhm.
I kind of see myself in our family as as the Susanna, where it's kind of like in the background, like not kind of
Yeah.
not really like getting involved in too much. Of all these characters, did you feel like you, and we can include Claire
Yeah.
Danes' character in this, who we haven't brought up yet, but
Yeah. Even though I wouldn't be as toxic to steal my sister's boyfriend, I probably saw myself in Claire Danes the most just because I'm a younger sister and I would absolutely get on a bus
you
on
would,
Christmas Eve
you would
to
be the
take
one to
care of
do
you.
it. Yep. Yep.
I would take a boat, I would take a plane, I would do whatever is
All of
needed
them.
without trying on the engagement ring. I mean, come on. What are we doing here? But yeah, I almost wish that Claire Danes had been maybe she just should have been there from the beginning to add a little bit more tension building and let them pick the favorite sister from the get-go. I think I saw a little of myself in Amy, even though I can be a mess
Yeah.
sometimes. I don't think I would be as brash and openly judgmental. I think I would be judgmental in secret.
Yes.
I think I would be watching through the window. I think I would be chatting with Sybil in the other room, being like, "Did you see what she did today? She didn't. She cleaned the coffee pot and she didn't refill it." But I did not watch it this time with the perspective and thought someday that if I have kids, they're going to bring home a significant other. And what if I don't like them?
I think that Laura, this is the source of like so many
I am
families' issues.
stressed. I know we talked about a little bit who we related with, but do you have a character that you love the most?
I really love Thaddeus and Patrick. I
Oh no.
mean, that I felt like they were like the center of the warm chocolate chip cookie. Just,
Yes. Oh, it's such
you
a good
know,
description. They're just, I think they're the most pure of heart. Like they have
yes,
zero bad intentions,
yes,
which we need that. And then you have all of like the chaos. Like you have
yes,
Ben, who is seemingly just a pothead and does nothing, but he actually is the only person that says it how it is not stressed out, is not trying to impress anyone, is actually pretty accepting of every single person, but he usually doesn't help the cause. So it was, I feel like, good character juxtapositions with all the siblings.
How about you? Did you have a favorite character?
So, on paper, absolutely Everett, because he's a beautiful businessman who loves Hong Kong. And I just want to go on these trips with him, but he kind of sucks. So yeah, I think I have to go I just want to be in the kitchen with Patrick. I just want to be hanging out with Patrick,
Yeah.
having a cocktail and helping him cook. And if I was on Sybil's good side, I think I really like her character.
Can we talk about Dermot? Is it Mulroney?
Dermot Mulroney.
Mul- Dermot
Let's
Mulroney.
start.
Oh, I feel like this does not roll
Dermot
off the tongue.
Mulroney.
I think that he brings the same energy to all of the characters that I've seen him play. And there is something about it that I love and I'm very attracted to, but I've never met anyone in real life who has these qualities, which is that he's aloof but not checked out. Like
Yes.
he's aware of what's happening, but he's just very like nothing really seems to bother him.
I don't think he
Um,
thinks things through. He's almost reactive in a way that's not rational, but not reactive he does have some aggressive moments. It's so strange because he is thinking about other people, but I don't think that he always is thinking through like what will be the consequences or what will be the next steps of this. I'm just gonna do how I feel.
Well, like especially in the beginning when you really saw the contrast between him and Meredith, I think in some ways they were a good match because
Yeah.
she was so uptight and he was like not so chill that he was like not it wasn't penetrating him. Everyone was seeing what he wasn't seeing. But then we got to that one scene where he was like super aggressive to Amy to Rachel McAdams' character. And when he did that, I was like, never mind. I don't like this.
Yeah.
Like I don't like this guy.
If I was a psychologist, I
Yes,
feel like
do it.
he almost was in a lot of pain with
Mm,
knowing that this was Sybil's last Christmas. Like felt like there were a lot of things at stake that he wasn't expressing his emotions in an appropriate manner with his family. So I think he was lashing out. Meredith was supposed to be the prize. Oh, I found this very successful, beautiful, intelligent woman who I'm going to bring home and we're going to spend this magical last Christmas together with mom, and completely not understanding that she may not get along with your family and vice versa. Like he just wanted to make it work. So I think if it was a lot of buildup for him. But I mean, that is a immediate sign that you don't love someone if you are immediately attracted to their sister the minute that they fall off of a bus. So
yeah.
it's a little intense. And Claire Danes, like Julie's character, she's a little aloof. She's not really, I think that they actually are
Yeah.
equally aloof. I think that they are very conscious and intelligent people, but they're kind of like, yeah, whatever.
It was really strange to me that he had that outburst with Amy, but like the rest of the time where there were plenty of opportunities for him to like step in and like either stand up for Meredith or stand up for his family, like he was just like, nah,
Yeah.
I'm like off duty right now.
Yeah,
I'm not getting involved.
exactly. Yeah, I think I'm going to call this the aloof square. I think all of them are just kind of in this
Yeah, they are all aloof, all four of them.
something was put in that coffee, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, and only one of them that we know of is a drug user, so
Yeah, this is true.
they don't. Three of them have no
Yeah.
excuse. Two more topics that I want. Well, one of them I want to definitely get into more with you, but I think one of the other things I really liked about this story is how much it was like this could be a play. I always love when movies can easily become a play because it means that it has a good writing foundation, that they can't hide behind, special effects or like cool cinematography. Like just the story itself really has to work. And I think that is the case with this.
Yeah. And I
Um,
don't know if it was a budget decision, but there's really only a handful of settings in this movie. I would probably guess that 75% of the scenes take place in the house. And I think you
yeah,
said it at the beginning, but I think that's what makes it cozy. Everyone's just kind of in their pajamas, and this takes place over the day before Christmas Eve, Christmas Eve Eve, Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day, which I feel like is like perfect. I agree. I think this could definitely work as a play.
it's this big ensemble cast where like all of the characters like have something to do, and that
Mhm.
there are almost like no like backgrounds. The secondary characters, there's maybe like five of them.
Yeah.
And even in the scenes, like the scene where they're at O'Malley's at the bar, like it's Christmas Eve and like they're the only ones there. And
Yeah.
Everett and Julie are walking the streets, and like you would almost think that this is a movie that was filmed during COVID and like they didn't want to have like lots of crowds of people. All right, so Laura, you talked, the first thing that you said that you loved was the snow, but like the snow and this house, we're seeing this exterior, which is gorgeous, but the interior and the exterior, it feels very like Nancy Meyers adjacent. Like it's not
It does.
quite the same. It has a lot of props and like the set
I think it's a little
design
bit like
people.
messier. If it was Nancy
Yes.
Myers, it would be, and not that it's everything's pristine with her, but she makes messy rooms look beautiful too. Where this was
Yes.
kind of like, it looked actually accurate of what
Yeah,
someone's room
this
would look
felt
like.
real.
Yeah.
This felt like a house where five kids grew up in it. And I was thinking about how I'm about to write this article for Substack where I'm talking about holiday design trends. And one of the things I'm seeing so much is 90s nostalgia is back everywhere, but in interiors, the millennials, we all kind of came into a lot of us like moving into our own places in this like very white minimalist look. And I think we're now all reverting into like wanting our houses to look like the houses that we grew up in, especially around the holidays. And Sybil and Kelly's age and our parents, like we'll say the boomer generation, are kids of parents who came out of the Depression. So, like, their parents grew up with nothing. They didn't have as much stuff. And, like, I think that our parents were, like, the first generation to, like, get stuff. But then they're like, cannot get rid of any of this. We can't let go of any of this. Everything is precious. And I feel like this home really reflects that. Like, I don't think anything in this home has ever been thrown out, but it's so
Mhm.
beautiful. And I think that that's what everyone our age wants now,
Yeah, because it's like a whole life.
in a
I mean,
way.
I think we're big on not wanting clutter, but I don't know. When you think about it, like it's proof that life lived here and
Mm-hmm.
that people came and went. So I think there's actually beauty in the clutter. Maybe we need to lean into it a little bit more in the millennial generation. Clutter is
Specific
back.
clutter is definitely. I think it's making a comeback.
It is. Wallpaper, especially in recent years. But there's like an art to, I feel like, selecting wallpaper that will be timeless. Like you can look at it in 20 years and it won't go out of style.
I want to call out just like my favorite part of the house. It's the kitchen, and then specifically Sybil's desk, like her red iMac that fit in
Yes.
so seamlessly. And a lot of, I think, kitchen, like 90s kitchens have like kind of like the mom desk, but this, hers felt different. And I loved that it had so much stuff on the wall behind her, like drawings. I don't know if it was like from her granddaughter or it could have been from her kids that she just never took down.
I know, and I just love that she says like that's my desk, like all my stuff's on it. But I love that it's
Yeah,
in the kitchen. It's just this very human feel.
part of the home, just like her.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so we've kind of talked about some pins on our side in this movie, but are there any big standout things for you that you do not like?
Yeah. I really only have one thing, but it's like a big thing. All of the romantic parts of this movie just don't work for me. And I get that it's like this is like the basis of the whole movie, but I didn't feel the chemistry between any of these relationships. They all felt weird to me. They all felt forced.
I just don't
Specific,
know if they were even needed now that
yeah.
I'm really thinking about it. I don't think it
This is
added
what I wanted to
anything to
ask
the
you.
movie.
If you thought that this movie could work without, like, is the story just that kids, five kids come home and like maybe some of them are married or whatever or have partners and it's their mom's last Christmas? Like, is that the rewrite?
Yeah, or I mean, I do think that the center of this movie is like the outsider coming in and kind of watching the magic and the chaos and the tragedy of this family on their last Christmas together with their mom. But
Mm-hmm.
I almost think it could have just been a more plutonic thing with like Ben maybe unlocking like the freak side of Sarah Jessica Parker without
Yeah.
it being this romantic thing where she's like, oh, I'm actually kind of into him. Like it could have just been, oh, my maybe future brother in law is like looking out for me and without like any sexual tension. Or maybe it could have been like, maybe Amy changes her tune and like they go get drunk together. Like I just don't know if the love story like I guess that's what led to the chaotic kitchen scene where she drops the breakfast because everyone's very up in arms, but they could have gotten a fight about something else. But like I don't even think that Claire Danes was needed. If anything, I feel like maybe they could have shown her and then like at the end next Christmas they just like we don't know what happened, but like Everett ended up with her. So in a year time, but I really think that they could have just broken up because he finally realizes that he was marrying her for the wrong reasons and they go their separate ways.
Completely,
We could
completely
have done
agree.
without the square. Instead of Claire Danes being the sister to come and save her, maybe she's like like get rid of Brad's character, sorry Brad, and make Claire Danes like an old love of Everett who they hadn't spoken in many years, but they run into each other, and it makes him realize like when he was with her it was like a really happy time in his life, and like made him realize that his relationship with Meredith is not like the type of person that he wants to be with. And I think that would have been more interesting than having her sister come.
Earlier, you said, you would be the sister who would hop on whatever transportation to be there for any of us. But aside from that aspect of it, I don't feel like there was anything that happens or anything in their relationship that I felt like was like super sistery, or like it could have been a friend's. There was really no reason that if they were keeping this structure in the storyline, that like that needed to be her sister. I felt like all the time that they were like at the house, they weren't. They had that one scene at the bathroom,
When
but
she's
I felt
sniffing
like
smells.
Julie. Yeah, I feel like Julie showed up, and that's great. But like once they were there, she kind of like ditched Meredith,
Yeah.
right?
I think
She's like, "You're on your
she
own
just
now."
kept saying, you're fine. There's what's going on. There's nothing really that bad here. You could have handled this on your own. But yeah, she's just going on a long walk talking about Alaska artifacts or whatever with Everett.
What's it like, a
You know?
totem pole? I
I
don't know.
don't
She's
know.
telling the story, and I'm like, "I'm
They
sorry,
also
Julie."
started the story in the middle of the story, and I needed more context because it actually sounded interesting, but like there was
No, I
no,
got bored. I
yeah.
was like, "Julie, I'm not following this. This is not interesting."
It took him 5 years. I flew there for the raising. It was just this tiny, tiny island off of the coast.
And I think it was just adding to the fuel that I was already feeling, which is that their relationship, Julie and Everett's relationship, felt so rushed,
Yeah.
so unnatural. I did not feel any chemistry between them. I felt like Dermot Mulroney's acting was like a little over the top. Like I felt like he was like trying to compensate for
Yeah,
needing
I
to be
don't
in love
know.
with this woman. It
It
was
was
all
very
like it
bizarre.
did
Yeah,
not
I
work for me.
agree. Very rushed. Claire Danes is stunning, obviously, but
Of
like
course.
it's not that it just feels a little weird that he would be like struck right away after being like even though he's with her for the wrong reasons, like he's with Meredith for the wrong reasons, he's still like is into her, and he's like going above and beyond to make sure that like the everyone's getting, he's like trying so hard to like get his family to be nice to her that it felt a little weird. And I also feel like you would have come to the bus to pick me up. You wouldn't send
Of
your boyfriend to
course.
come get me.
It
Anything
seemed like
else?
Julie really liked buses. She seemed very enthusiastic to get there and then also to leave. She's
She's
like,
like,
"Oh, don't
I
worry. There's
cannot
a
wait.
bus coming."
There's a bus to Bedford at 5:30 p.m. I best be on it. And then she gets off the bus just to say, "Do you want to hang out in New Year's?" and then gets back on the bus.
The worst part of the movie, I think, was Everett running right after that scene. And I felt like, I don't know. You know how, like, on TV shows, they have different directors? I mean, I feel like whoever directed like the romance scenes was like a different person who like didn't get the rest of the movie because it felt like
And
it
it
was.
also, I think that was like the tone where you don't know how to feel because you're like, this is so weird. Even, can
Yeah,
you imagine she's sitting at the dinner table while all like this really intense conversation is happening? Like, it doesn't feel like she needs to be there. Like she's not even adding anything. It would have been crazier if she was more like the one to be saying these extremely problematic and hurtful
yeah.
things to his family instead of her, or like it's revealed that both of them are like homophobic or something. I don't know, just like anything. It just was felt so disjointed.
She's beautiful and she seemed like a fun person, even though her story about the totem pole was boring. But like how quickly the family was like, "Oh, we love her." Like
Yeah.
obviously they had that little comment about how it took them a little while to warm up to Patrick,
Yes.
and we know that they don't like Meredith, but like this other random person who's showing up unannounced and crashing the family holiday, they think that she's like the greatest person in the world.
I think that she's just a little bit warmer and easier, so they are just immediately comparing her. But that would just be strange. I think we just get rid of the love square. Let's leave it to the summer I turned pretty for the triangles and the squares.
Yes,
You know what they're
agreed.
doing. So I just have a big moment to call out.
Yes, I love it.
I've been trying to have different perspectives of Meredith's character, and I think I'm sympathetic because they were very mean to her. As much as if I was Sybil, I'd probably be like, get this woman out of my house. She's not marrying my perfect son. But the moment when she's with Ben, after all the mayhem happens and she changes into a t-shirt and they're laying down together in bed because they found out they're in love, even though they're absolutely not in love.
5 minutes ago.
5 minutes ago. And she starts singing Joy to the World. And I'm
Oh
like,
my God. I hated
this
that part.
sounds like it could be the soundtrack to a Christmas horror film.
Plays. Repeat the sounding joy. Repeat the sounding joy.
It's
It
very unnerving. It's adding to the tone confusion. And
like,
I don't know
why?
I feel like Ben doesn't know the song Joy to the World. He doesn't
He's acting like he did. He was like, "Oh, we're singing now? No problem. Let's do a duet."
I just wish they could take it back, but they can't. It's already out there.
Did you keep thinking like when they started that like the background music was gonna kind of join in with them and it was
Yes.
gonna be start playing, but like that didn't happen.
That would have been an easy.
There was a different song playing in the background, which made it worse. It was
There's
very
really,
uncomfortable.
there's actually not many. I have to look up like the soundtracks to this movie and the score because I think I was so focused on like the chaos that it was difficult for me to be paying attention to everything at once. But the big song that I always remember is which is from the Nutcracker when like the chaos is happening.
Yeah.
It's like dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
which is in every Christmas movie ever.
You know what?
It's
I'm just gonna drop this here. I do want to talk about that scene more when we get to favorite scenes and lines.
Please.
But I could have done without the Nutcracker playing during that scene. I feel like it kind of took away from it. Like you said, it's kind of like the generic choice for any zany moment in any Christmas movie.
Yes.
And this could have been a good opportunity to keep the same tone. Like we want to tell the audience that this is funny, but maybe an original piece.
Oh my God, no, it's all right, sweetie. Let's just get this off. You're gonna be fine. It's your pretty hair.
I know that everyone loves that scene, but it didn't add much for me. I don't think it was that funny and that outlandish. I'm like, oh no, she's taking the eggs out of the fridge. Someone's probably going to hit her with the door.
Someone's going to slip on a banana peel.
Yeah, oh boy, oh no. Not the white shirt. Okay, so speaking of scenes that other people like, but we don't really love, do you have a favorite scene and a favorite line?
I would say that the slapstick scene is probably my favorite scene. I liked that they had a slapstick scene in this movie, and I was wishing that they had more. Obviously, not like as big as this, because this was kind of like the apex, but other little slapstick moments throughout the movie. I think that would have added to the fun of all of this, and I think going back to imagining this as a play, I'm seeing a lot of like opening and closing doors, and then like when Kelly like walks in on them, like, you know, seeing things that you're not supposed to see and like backing out of rooms. I felt like, I mean, I know that tonally this would have changed the movie, but I think that this story lends itself to that. So I did think it was fun that they included that scene at the end. I have a feeling that you're going to agree with me on this. This is very like us coded humor. But my favorite moment within that sequence was when Amy, Rachel McAdams' love interest, Brad, has now shown up at the house. So he's sitting in the living room with Julie, Claire Dean's character. And while all this chaos is happening...
Oh! Sorry. I don't know if we've met. Hi. I'm Brad.
Julie.
also love when Everett and Ben are fighting during that scene under the table. And there's an earlier mention, which I have to call out, that Susanna bought him. He's like, oh, is this houndstooth?
Houndstooth, right? Houndstooth?
Filene's basement.
Really?
Filene's. Okay, this is like such
Callback.
a deep cut. I completely forgot about Filene's. I throw that in. I drove by a Boscov's recently, and I was like, whoa. I did not know Boscov.
He went into a time warp.
I was like, something is happening. But I thought that was funny when he was like, not the jacket. He was like he was so nervous about the jacket getting messed.
I loved how he wore the blazer over the like his regular red shirt.
I think that Ben's the costume design is probably my favorite because it's just so there's a lot going on. Is there a favorite line for you?
I do, but I also have another favorite scene.
Oh, yes.
My favorite scene, and this was even more special today. This happened not on purpose, but when Kelly comes in and the two sisters are on the couch and they're watching Meet Me in St. Louis. I have forgotten that was in this movie because one of the first notes I wrote this morning when I was watching was like, oh, wow, these title cards remind me of Meet Me in St. Louis. It was like, it feels like they were like paying tribute to it a little bit. So it reminded me of this is us. This is us in this movie.
I'm getting emotional because we must have talked about this on the Meet Me in St. Louis episode, but we like growing up, our Christmas traditions were pretty like Christmas morning was pretty consistent. Like we wake up, we would all like go in one of our rooms and then we would go downstairs together. But there was this one year, and I do feel like you were either like at the end of college or had just graduated, and Lisa and I came into your and Allison's room and we like sat in bed before we went down and watched Meet Me in St. Louis together. And it was just so cozy. It was like the best like start to like before, having like our Christmas moment. But there's something about like the waking up and like everyone's gathering before we like go down for the big moment, which I felt like was really sweet.
So I didn't remember this, and it sounds like you did not remember this either, but I was going through old photos today looking for something. I came across Christmas Eve morning last year, and I will add these photos to the video version. I have pictures of me and you on the couch, and we're watching Meet Me in St. Louis.
This was last year?
Last year, Christmas Eve.
Gosh.
This happened.
No, I do remember this because we had like mugs. It was very
and we're
cool.
holding mismatched mugs. I think
Perfect.
You have the Willis.
Oh, okay. It's just perfect. We are the family stone.
Okay, so my favorite line, I kind of teased this before. This is the line that I feel like sums up the whole movie and I think is Sybil, Diane Keaton's best line. So this is right after Meredith has gone on her rant. There's a big blow up. And then Diane Keaton, she says, hey, you, to her son, to Thaddeus, who's we haven't really even mentioned this, but that he's hearing impaired. She throws a fork at him because I kind of got the sense that he's ignored. He doesn't want to deal with this. But then she throws a fork at him and she says,
And you are more normal than any other asshole sitting at this table.
And then she ends the line by saying,
I need a fork.
That line and that delivery is a perfect example of what I was trying to describe earlier, where she's showing her kids like how much she loves them or her son in this case. And it's really serious. She really needs him to know this, especially now that she has this terminal illness. But also she's being herself, and that person is a little abrasive. And also it's funny, but it's also happening in like the most dramatic part of the movie. And it's doing all of those things, and I don't know, it worked really well for me. And that one moment of the movie is the thing that I remembered most from watching it last time. Like that really stayed with me.
That scene alone, I think, is why so many people love this movie. It's why people go back to it every time, because it has this really important discussion, honestly, that's taking place. And there's just something also about the way that Thad responds to that, to what she says. He has this almost like smirk of a smile, and but it's like the most like, everything that's going through his brain this moment, that he's like, if I were to put it into words, it'd be like, wow, I have the most amazing mother, and how lucky am I to be sitting at this table with her. I feel so protected by this woman. The ending of that, of like everyone else sitting at this table, it just kind of wraps everything in a bow of like, we're all insane, we are all flawed, everyone is on the same field here. Yeah, so I'll go off of that with, I don't really have a specific scene, but I think I just kind of appreciate some of like the quiet moments with Sybil. Sometimes they're a little bit like quintessential of the person who's sick in the movie, but like, I don't know, I always love the moment where Susanna like goes and like lays with her, and then like, again, same thing when Susanna and Amy falls asleep, and Kelly says she's nice like this when she's asleep. But I don't know, it's kind of, it feels very human in a way that this is a family, and even though they're all grown up, they're still able to look at each other the way that they did when they were children. And like Sybil is still a parent even though she's not going to be there, and she's still like cuddling with her daughter. These markers in the movie are important to show the importance of like coziness and family, and like that we can always come back together no matter what. Even though I still think it's really weird that Meredith would have gotten these photos printed off for everyone and gifted them. Like, I have no idea. It just felt so out of character. I feel like it would have been more in character for like Everett to even just gift like one of them to her, to Sybil. But I love that part where Sybil opens it and she looks at Amy and she goes,
That's you and me, kid.
this is so beautiful. And then I do love that they end up like hanging it on the wall. It's just such like a touching moment. I'm like, great, I didn't cry in the movie. I didn't really have a specific line, but I love that she says, I don't think it's Sarah Jessica Parker. Again, I think it was just like a weird tone, but I did think it was kind of funny when all the chaos is happening. She's crying, she's egg all over her, and she's like,
I'm just as good as any of you. Of course you are. Better, probably.
I also love in that part when Ben says, we didn't sleep together, and she says,
Isn't there anybody that loves me?
I will also say, not that this is like a well-written line, but I do love, they say this a couple times, like, oh yeah, they're all watching you through the window before they go in.
Right. It's like, okay.
And I feel like this family is so like, everyone just like says whatever. Yeah. And they're all really comfortable with it. Even things like that you're not supposed to like point out, but yet no one is talking about like the really big thing that's happening. So that was also like an interesting.
That is true.
Interesting dynamic.
Should we talk about food?
Yeah. Decent food movie.
There's a lot of food, but I never know what anyone's eating. Like, I couldn't tell you what they were eating for dinner.
Specifically at the dinner table, I was like, we're looking at empty plates. We don't really know what was served.
Agree. My first food moment where I was like, this made me want to eat this, which isn't even Christmas related, but since moving back to the East Coast, I am like, okay, I'm going to turn into a piece of pizza, because I forgot that like every Friday or just anytime there's anything, we order pizza delivery at someone's house, which I'm not complaining about. But it felt very like nostalgic of, okay, it's the night before a holiday and no one wants to cook, so let's order a pizza and get the soda and just cuddle up on the couch. Like, that felt so cozy.
That's like my favorite part of a holiday. I did like how they wove that scene into, they dragged out all the parts of it and then had Meredith tell the story of how they met, and like seeing how long it took her to tell the story. That was well done.
That was very well done. we were never a big like Christmas breakfast family. I know that was kind of
No.
a big centerpiece of the movie where she was like, we make this dish every Christmas. This is the thing that I know how to make. Like she felt so in her element, I think, with that, because it's like the one dish that you could tell she has mastered and it's like her Christmas traditions. I actually do like the idea of a Christmas breakfast. Like I feel like that's kind of magical if you could pull it off. Like I'm picturing kind of Little Women feelings of like
Vibes.
some cider and like I don't know,
Butter. Isn't
butter.
butter divinity?
Yes. I think I wish there was like almost more of we're gonna make this for dinner and like I for some reason before I watched this like I thought that Patrick was like a chef but I think that he just is good at cooking. I thought that was like his profession. There's a lot of Dos Equis in this movie. I don't know if
I
they're
was wondering if, yeah, I
I guess
had the
they
same
did.
note.
Yeah. Lots of Dos.
It's
I
the
don't really
official beer of the Family
like
Stone.
yes.
I wanted to discuss Millie's brownies,
Oh, yes.
and I was a little confused. So it's one of the first food sightings that we see at the beginning of the movie.
Millie's famous brownies.
So sweet of her.
Millie has made these brownies. We don't know who Millie is. She's never brought up
Oh, bring
again.
Millie in.
Then Kelly is eating the brownies with Ben on the bleachers when they have their very. That scene is also great, by the way, talking like quiet moments.
I
But
love that.
so are they the same brownies? Are those Millie's brownies? And did Millie make them pot brownies?
No,
Were they pot brownies? Or are these two
I
separate
think
things?
I think that Millie made the brownies, and then Kelly was like, "Me and Ben are gonna go smoke a joint, and we're gonna bring these brownies with us
Okay,
because
so there was no pot. Millie wasn't
I
like,
don't
I know
no
that Sybil's sick and maybe this will help.
no. I think that it was just like these are some delicious brownies, and
Okay.
here you go. And then I
Okay.
mean, it's commitment that he brought them out in the colds to the
Yeah, with the
bleachers.
cellophane, it's hard to
Yeah,
rewrap those
yeah,
plates. It's the same cellophane, you can tell it because it's kind
yeah.
of loose.
That's another one of my. I agree though. I know we already went to favorite scenes, but that's such a special scene. I
Yes.
always love that. Very quiet moment. And there are brownies involved, so comfort was present.
Yes. Although I love like right out of the oven brownies a lot.
I
Like a
know.
cold brownie, no. I like don't
No,
even I don't want it if it's cold. So
I
eating
know.
it in the snow is not appealing to me. How about did this make you want to have a bowl of cereal? Because there's a lot of cereal eating in this. And so much so that I had one this afternoon because I was
Ah,
like, I can't
perfect.
stop thinking about this.
Dom and I got home late. It's probably 2 weeks ago. We were like out at a concert and we didn't end up eating dinner before because we were like starving. And Dom got back and we were just like raiding the fridge and just eating random stuff. And he made himself 2 bowls of cereal, like with bananas in it. And the cereal was like not good. It was kind of like healthy
I was going to
cereal.
say, what cereals do mom and dad have in their house
Not
that
great
would be
cereal.
acceptable?
And it was almond milk. So it was like a very makeshift
Uh,
cereal
he
bowl.
tried.
He tried, but he ate 2 bowls because he was starving. But I will say, I feel like this movie didn't. I just feel like Amy was always just very like messy. Like even though it's like
Yeah.
you're eating in your pajamas, like there was like so much chaos going on that I didn't feel like I had the moment to be like I'm in the mood to just sit and have a bowl of cereal. But
Yeah. It was all like very like
it was just
people
woven in. Yes.
eating with their
Standing.
mouths full.
Yeah.
Like the milk almost like sloshed a
Yes.
lot. Like it was eating
I
on the
feel like I want to
go.
like get a bowl of like frosted mini wheats and like sit on the couch in a blanket and like have the
Maybe
box
have
where I
like a
can just
newspaper or something
yes,
with you.
yes, and like watch a Christmas movie or sit and read the morning paper. Cereal and clutter are back. Sugary cereals. I don't want any of this non-fat, non-sweet. I want the
Almond milk. I mean,
OG.
you
Oh, I
hate non.
hate alternative milks. Give me the dairy right now.
There was okay. So there were two kind of like mains. We did see when Patrick was preparing. I appreciate it. He was making some kind of roast, And I like that there were like a lot of herbs and there was like string tied
Yes.
on the roast. So you know that that ended up coming out good.
Yeah.
But then also this was like a plot hole, but when they have the big scuffle at the end when they have the strata mishap and the boys go in or they're fighting underneath the it's like island's kitchen cart and then it collapses on them, a whole turkey falls off, but it's not, it's like a raw, no one has started making this turkey
Yeah.
yet. And it made me like, don't turkeys like, shouldn't someone have been in there at like 5 a.m. starting to cook that
Yeah.
thing?
Feels a little late. I don't
It
know. It
was
could have been
definitely a
earlier in the
prop
morning
turkey.
though. All right. Well, I think for our dinner party this week, we should
What do
just
we
have
do?
it. We should have it in the stone dining room.
Okay.
But we're not going to have a charged Christmas dinner. We're going to have a very nice, pleasant meal, hopefully, with people who are not crazy. So I'll give you two and you give me two. And it's just let's say that the table has a leaf in it and we're gonna take out the
We're
leaf
taking
and
the
make
leaves
this a
out.
very
Okay.
cozy. I'm gonna give you Brad and Susanna's baby once the baby is
Oh,
born.
once it's born. Okay.
Yes. So maybe we'll do this. Maybe this is 1 year later. So this is the dinner that we're imagining at the end of the movie. Sybil has since passed on. People have regrouped. For some reason, this group of four people are going to be together. So we got Brad and
Brad
we
and
have
Susanna's baby.
Susanna's baby, who's
Okay.
probably about one.
Oh, you threw me for a loop now. Um, all right. And I'll add in Thaddeus because he was my favorite
Oh,
character.
love him.
And now see, I'm torn because both the other people who I wanted to invite have too much of a connection to the other guests. I was between David, who is the fellow EMT, who is Brad's coworker, or John, who is Susanna's husband, who do we this is a question I truly wanted to ask you. Do we think that he wasn't in the movie just because they had like too many people?
That's what I
Like
was thinking.
we
I
can't
think
have
they were
one more
like, there's
person in
too
this.
many. Yeah. They were like,
Okay.
just have him. He's at work. He's going to come later.
Because I feel like it wasn't a good look for John to show up like
Yeah,
so late on Christmas Day. And she's
I
like
agree.
really pregnant.
Yeah, she's
She's got her
traveling
daughter
alone with her
there.
daughter.
Her mom's dying. Like,
Yeah,
do better,
come
John.
on, John. Take your vacation days.
All right, we'll scrap them. Well, do you know what?
We could also just do a 3-person dinner.
No. Okay, so all right, so let's go back and refresh since I diverted us.
Okay.
So we have Susanna's baby, we have Thaddeus, who is my pick, and we have
Brad.
Brad, who is now Amy's official
Yes.
boyfriend. Let's also bring in Millie, who made the brownies.
Okay,
Millie of Millie's Brownies.
got it. Oh, I got this.
Okay.
Okay. There is no way that Millie is under the age of 83. There's just no way. I think that not only does she bring brownies, she brings her brownies because that's like her signature. They may even dig into these before we eat dinner because people cannot wait to eat them. I think that she knit everyone's scarves, including the baby. Like she knit a 1-year old outfit for the baby. So she came bearing handmade gifts, her brownies. And I don't think that she brings like food because she's coming over to their home and expecting that even Brad, who's like the boyfriend, will pull his weight and cook something. I think that I think that he was the one who was probably helping Patrick with the turkey because he's like, this is a stone tradition. Like we always have a turkey and maybe just some like roasted carrots and maybe some like maple glazed carrots, which is a little bit more
Oh.
fall. But he likes something, he has like a sweet tooth. So that's what he's bringing. I don't think that he drinks. I don't think that he's a big drinker. So I think he's gonna make like a mocktail with like pomegranate juice. Maybe make like a
Oh.
spritz situation with some actual pomegranate or cranberries in there and a sprig. And I feel like that's enough for that. Like he's pulling his weight with the meat and the NA beverage. And he wears the scarf at dinner. He's like, I'm wearing this right now. He's like, everyone put on your scarf. Okay, Millie knit these for us.
I like your assessment of Millie. I think that you're
Yeah.
spot on. All right, so Brad, do you know what I think would make both a nice accompaniment to what we already have? Because that's, I mean, the turkey is like kind of the main.
Yeah.
Because Brad is an EMT, I'm picturing him hanging out with other emergency workers a lot, and I picture that crowd like in a firehouse, like they do a lot of like potlucks. Like he's used to kind of going to events like that. So I think that he has nailed a signature like baked pasta dish. So I'm thinking maybe like a baked ziti.
Okay.
Because that's something that he'll make it the day before. He'll pop it in the oven when he gets to the stone house. And because he's used to going to these really big events, he doesn't make a ton of it. It's just in one of those square with the little handles containers, which is perfect for this group because there's only 4 of them and one of them is a baby. So
Do we feel like he makes his own sauce or does he use like Prego?
I think he uses Prego, but I think he mixes in some kind of like sausage.
I feel
with
like
it.
he has some special touch where he's like, this is how my mom made it, you know?
It is, but like
Yeah.
I picture it being like decent. Like for him, people are like,
Yes.
"Oh, Brad made this. Like this
Yeah.
is like pretty good," but like we wouldn't think it's good. Like it's not actually really. It's not like gourmet or anything. It's not like, "Oh my God,
Yes.
he makes the best." Like no one is like, "Oh my God, Brad, you have to bring this to every family gathering." Like he just brings it and people eat it.
And I feel like this is perfect because like Millie likes turkey, but she's only wants like a piece, you know? And I think
Yeah, I don't think Millie's eating much.
I think Millie loves Brad. I think Millie knows Brad's mom. You know, she's
Yes.
like, your mother.
Brad's
Yes.
mom is also mentioned. Sybil says
I don't know
something
why I
like
just
that
made
she
Millie like a New Yorker, but
she grew up in New York.
and
Now she
is
lives
our-
in
yeah,
New England
makes her
somewhere.
brownies. Yeah. And she knows Brad's mother.
I have to figure out what the baby's bringing. I think this is the first. I mean, we've had a lot of animals show up, but I don't think we've ever had like a
We've definitely had
baby.
children. Yeah, I don't think we've ever had a 1-year-olds.
I guess he's bringing jars of baby food.
Yeah.
I mean, it's either that or like formula or breast milk. So I think we got to go with jars of baby food. And you know what? I think that Millie, she's like trying to be nice, so she's like, I'll just have a little taste. I think she secretly likes it better than Brad's Big
Yeah.
CD.
I agree. I think that she's sitting at the end of the table with the baby. She loves babies. She thinks so.
She loves babies.
very.
Yeah.
I love Millie. We need a spin-off of just Millie.
This is like a nice group.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is a
I'm
good-
kind of like middle of the road on Brad,
Yeah,
but
I think Brad is harmless.
I think he
He has good taste in snow globes.
does.
What is your
Oh my
stance
God,
on snow globes?
I had a past gentleman caller give me a snow globe as a gift a long time ago, and
What was
I think I was
yours?
kind of like
Was it Christmas?
confused by it.
Yeah,
No, it wasn't Christmassy.
that's weird.
It may have been like a carousel horse. It was something like very generic.
There's a reason he was a past
Yes.
caller. He didn't.
Yes. So it's when she opened that gift, I thought of that, and I kind of had the same confusion. Like, it's not that I'm anti snow globe, but like, I feel like if you're gonna give someone a snow globe, it either needs to be like holiday related or some kind of significance. Like, you're really into this, so I got you with
Yeah.
this version of a snow globe.
I think snow globes should only be used around Christmas because it's related to winter and snow. And I think that they should not be collected in copious amounts. I don't like when people
Multiple.
collect snow globes. I get stressed out by collectors, like who collect like can you imagine having like a room? What if Jimmy was like loves snow globes and you had like a room of snow globes?
No. But
I
what
would be like-
about the Christmas villages? Does that count as like one thing?
That's not a collect. That's just like that's a
Yeah,
decor.
people collect
Yeah.
those little houses.
Yeah, but it's part of the town. It's not like the same
Okay.
house over and over again. I do love the Christmas villages.
I'm with you on with the snow globes because a snow globe is like very it's unique and it's interactive and like it's a thing that should stand on its own. If
Yes.
there's more
We don't
than
need
one, then
multiple.
it's like it's
We just
overstimulation
need
for
one
anyone.
with, maybe some skaters on a little pond or something with the snow coming down.
I was very invested in what was in that box when he showed up with it because I couldn't quite tell.
I
I
thought
thought
he
it was
just
like
got her
a
like
razor, and then they cut away from it, and I'm like, are they not going to show us what he got her? I really wanted to know,
I
and
know.
I had forgotten from last year.
Yeah. He did. It's sweet. It's the holidays. We'll allow it. Even though Amy is not a snow globe gal. There's no
No,
way.
does he know her at
Yeah.
all?
All right. Well, I think
All
this
right,
is a lovely dinner party. And
that is. I feel like it's.
I think it
I
feels
mean,
right. I think that they're listening to Joy to the World's classical version on the background.
not the
Not,
singer. No singing,
not Meredith or
please.
Ben's voices. Okay. Our favorite part of our episodes. Let the chaos begin. I think this is going to be a chaotic one. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. This or that. Christmas version. Would you rather be stuck at O'Malley's with Ben and the EMT guys drinking Dos Equis, or go on a cold walk with Everett in the empty center of town?
Definitely go to O'Malley's.
O'Malley's.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather get your sister's supposed to be engagement ring stuck on your hand, or fall into a pool of strata?
I even though the situation is probably worse, I think I'd rather get the ring stuck on my hands.
Yeah, you do not like messes, and you don't
No.
like eggs. So
Yeah,
bold
yeah. I think
decisions for
maybe
you.
if it was something else, I would say that. But yeah,
Okay, pick a cozy scene: a cup of coffee in your PJs in the morning, or a movie on the couch at night with the Christmas tree next to you.
movie at night, especially if I'm with my sister.
Yes, this is true. Okay, pick an article of clothing from the Stonehouse: a houndstooth jacket from Filene's, or Meredith's pink heels that I think it's
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's say before it broke.
Okay. The definitely the houndstooth
Yes.
jacket.
Love a houndstooth.
Yeah. I feel like a girl could rock that,
Yeah, that's true.
and I'm not good in super high heels, so
Agree. Especially
that would be a no for me.
in the snow.
Yeah.
In our imaginary snow that we're not gonna have. Okay, would you rather wake up in Ben's bed naked, or crash the car consecutively into two separate trees in front of the whole family watching?
I think wake up in men's bed naked. I mean,
Add some
is that
fire.
really the worst?
Yeah, really not the worst.
I mean, he wasn't there.
That's true. I think he's the better brother anyway, at heart.
All right. Are you ready to get in the hot seat?
I am.
All right.
It's warm.
What would what would you rather eat on Christmas morning? The cooked breakfast strata or a bowl of cereal?
The cooked breakfast strata, even though I don't even know what it is, I feel like I'm not like a big like omelet-esque person, but I still would pick that. I feel like for Christmas morning you have to go fancy, and I would feel so guilty if Meredith actually made that and no one ate it. So
Yeah.
I would be a good future sister-in-law or mother-in-law.
All right, you have three options for this one. Pick a stone sibling bedroom. So we don't see that I remember, we don't see Thad's room or Susanna's room. So the three you have to choose from are Amy's attic, kind of erratic, low ceilinged room that looked like it had no closets in it. We have Ben's pot smoker, music-esque room that has an ensuite bathroom, or Everett's inexplicably very celestial room. It comes with a telescope. Also has an ensuite bathroom. So between the three of those, what are you choosing?
Absolutely Everett's. She's crazy for even leaving that room. It looked so clean. The fresh sheets on the bed. Like it looked like it was out of a Macy's catalog. I don't know what she was thinking she was getting at the inn, but I would dial it back. Like you're a grown woman who has a 401k, you can sleep in your boyfriend's bedroom.
Okay, it's Christmas morning. Would you rather be the sister whose husband shows up late or the one who opens up the front door to find that your maybe future sister-in-law secretly invited the guy you lost your virginity to?
Brad. It's more exciting. And I want
Easy
to
answer. Brad.
Yeah, obviously Brad. Yeah, the John is. I kind of wish
John
he
is out.
didn't come. Yeah, he's too
Yeah.
late. He missed all the fun.
All right, last question. Which would you rather own? The Stones family house or the inn?
The house. I need that house. Just so
The
I can
inn
sit
was
I know the inn was
pretty awesome,
cool.
though.
I know, but the house I could like really have everyone gather, and I didn't see that if the inn had a kitchen, so I don't know
They
if it
might
was good
not.
for sleeping.
And that employee was pretty unhelpful.
Yeah. Okay. Well, successful first holiday episode. We're really still leaning into the holidays. So next week we are finally going to be covering a movie that I can't believe we haven't released it in our previous seasons yet, but
It's weird that we haven't.
we're finally going to be covering Home Alone Part 1. Previous listeners, you've probably listened to one of our favorite episodes, Home Alone 3, but we're dialing it back to Kevin McAllister, the OG. So make sure you tune in and keep listening and watching along for more Christmas and holiday content.
We'll see you then.